Welcome back to Let's Read Judge Dredd, and today's episode is The Revolution, Part 1. So let's get into this. We've got on the front of a stage something that says Democratic Charter, and that's the only text I can read besides the obvious dialogue text. On the 13th of March, 2108, Hester Hyman, Franklin Lund, J. William Williams, and Rufus Tuttle was shot down in cold blood by the forces of so-called law and order. They had hurt no one. They offered no resistance. They accepted their fate in the knowledge that each death, each sacrifice is a step in the direction of freedom. The Democratic tendency are only the most well-documented example of decent, ordinary citizens willing to die for a cause they believe to be just. The return of power to the people. Gort, my name is Gort Hyman. Hester Hyman was my wife. I used to be average kind of Josette, just getting along, keeping my head down, doing my best to stay out of trouble. But I didn't like the way things were. But you can't buck the Justice Department. That was my motto. When Hester got killed, it shook me. I mean, I didn't even know she was a member of this Democratic tendency. Why hadn't she told me? What right did she have abandoned us over some harebrained principle? It was weeks before I could think straight, before I could begin to understand why she did it. You see, Hester loved our kids, and she'd have never run out on them if there was any other way. But she looked at this world and she saw our kids growing up in it, turning into people just like us, good for taking orders, doing what we're told, frightened people, crushed by the city, crushed by our self-appointed overlords and judges. Hester saw our kids' future and it terrified her. And because she loved them, she chose to sacrifice her life to change it. When a good mother must die to change the society her kids grow up in, something is badly wrong with that society. We've lived in fear of the judges for too long. It's time to stand up and be counted. Democracy. I have in my hand the charter of the Democratic tendency. It calls for an end to the tyranny of the judges and an immediate return to democratic principles. It calls for the return of basic freedoms taken away over decades of oppression. It calls for a repeal of the harsh penalties for minor infringements. It calls for a city governed for the people, by the people. And we've seen this before. Switch a channel. This is why the leadership of of Hester Hyman. This is why the leadership of the Hester Hyman Trust, and the Sons of the Constitution, the Freedom League, the Democratic Urge, and the Committee for the Restoration of Civil Liberties are gathered here today to request your support. Tomorrow at noon, we march upon the Hall of Justice to present the judges with our demands as embodied in this charter. There will be no violence. We will give them no excuse to beat us down with their guns and their day sticks. We ask you to join us. Spread the word. Let the whole city know. Spread the word. Power to the people, baby. We will march not with clenched fists of anger, but with the open palm of peace. Let our demands Yet our demands, sorry guys, Yet our demands will sound no less loudly. Power to the people. Okay. Chief Judge Silva, what is your reaction to the statement of the Democratic Charter Group? Democracy. That's an old chestnut. There's always some lunatic group dragging it out of the fire. We've tried democracy before. Believe me, it doesn't work. This fallacy that we are somehow the enemy of the people couldn't be more wrong. Why, we're their best friends. Could you repeat that, sir? No, if we keep a tight grip on the people, it is for their own good. Without us, the city would collapse into chaos and anarchy. And much, sir? No, it's happened before, and I have no intention of allowing it to happen again. We are not tyrants. We do not seek to deny citizens the right of peaceful demonstration. Let them march. As long as they remain within the law, they will be tolerated. That's far enough. No more questions. Get Dredd in here. If we allow a dangerous idea like democracy to take a hold on the people, we're lost, Dredd. I consider it the greatest threat to this city since the Apocalypse War. While it would be unwise to come out and openly ban the march, I am authorizing you to take whatever action you deem necessary to ensure that it does not succeed. Does that include exceeding the law? I want this movement crushed, Dredd. On this one, you write the law. Dredd gathers an operations team. I see no point pussyfooting around. Why can't we just slap an order on them? No, I must agree with the chief judge. The Democrats have got this city inflamed enough as it is. You've seen what it's like out there. Yeah, really quiet. Never seen anything like it. Hardly a crime, hardly a perp in sight, streets nearly empty. Like they're all staying in, building themselves up for tomorrow. There's a ready-made riot just waiting to happen. Whether we start it or not, we can't be seen to do so. No, we'll start working on the leaders. Pick them off one by one, but the march goes ahead. We'll use it as a glaring example of the dangers of democracy. Dredd's team worked tirelessly through the night. Got something juicy on Beth Ann Rosie's civil liberties woman. She's been married 6 times, right? Thing is, her registered signature is Beth Ann, one word. But for some reason on her second divorce, she signed Beth Ann, 2 words. A technicality that makes the divorce invalid. It lays her open to 4 counts of bigamy. We got 3 husbands. 3 of the husbands ready to make a stink. Still working on the current one. The charge will hold at least until appeal. It takes her out of the march. And we will keep our hands clean. The citizens aren't going to start rioting when we pick up a 4-time bigamist. Good work. Make the arrest. How are you coming along with Phillips? It depends on how far you want to go. As far as we have to. Right. Fact. Morton Phillips was almost shot as a collaborator just after the war. Turned out to be a case of mistaken identity. But say we started putting out the rumor. Not enough. How about this? Phillips in Sov uniform taken at a costume hop 2 years ago. Nice. Okay, use it. Still ain't got nothing on Hyman or Dupree. They appear to live blameless lives. Forget Dupree. She's a ringleader. I want her on the march, isolated. Keep working on Gord Hyman. He's the key. We need a way to turn him. The inspiration that fires the whole Democratic movement is that of Hester Hyman. I intend to destroy that image. I intend to make Gord Hyman betray her. Next program, civil liberties. Well, maybe uncivil liberties. All right, well, thanks for watching, and join us again next time.